Well, there is an absolute bombshell report of a case that is still developing at this time around a federal probe into major players and coaches' involvements with organized crime syndicates to rig NBA games and individual betting props. The investigation, which resulted in several key arrests today, is part of a much larger investigation into La Cosa Nostra, the Gambino crime family, which resulted in, quote, tens of millions of dollars in fraud, theft, and robbery, and that is according to FBI Director Kash Patel himself, who held a press conference today to address this very case.
Let's not, mince words. This is the insider trading saga for the NBA.
The biggest names taken into custody today include current active NBA player Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers head coach, Basketball Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups. Also arrested today was former Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones. The three of them taken into custody today again, along with 30 others spanning across 11 states. Again, that according to Director Patel.
This is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing.
Terry Rozier was arrested early Thursday morning at a hotel in Orlando, where his Miami Heat were in town for their season opener against the Magic. Billups, meanwhile, was taken into custody in Oregon as part of an illegal poker operation with rigged ties to the mafia. There are no additional details known at this time about the Billups case, but he is expected to make a court appearance sometime today, as is Terry Rozier. Speaking of him, meanwhile, Rozier is in the final season of a 4-year, $96.3 million contract that he signed initially with the Charlotte Hornets in August of 2021. His case is stemming from the betting scandal involving former Toronto Raptors power forward Jontay Porter, brother of former Nuggets, now Nets star forward Michael Porter Jr. Jontay, who went undrafted in 2019, made his NBA debut with the Grizzlies in 2021, but played 26 games with the Toronto Raptors in 2023-2024, and he will now play no more games in the NBA ever because he is serving a lifetime ban from Commissioner Adam Silver for his confirmed involvement in affecting outcomes of games. In what is still clearly an open and ongoing investigation, what we know at this time is that Porter bet on at least 13 NBA games, totaling just over $54,000 from January to March of 2024, with individual per-game bets ranging from $15 to $22,000. But the league also found that Porter limited his participation in at least one game that they directly referenced, which was a March 20th contest against Sacramento, where he said he felt ill 3 minutes into that game and didn't return. While a bettor that Porter knew and associated with placed an $80,000 parlay prop bet on Porter, which paid out $1.1 million. And now we know that Terry Rozier was performing similar acts to affect his props as well, with multiple sports books in multiple states flagging suspicious betting interests on Rozier's props ahead of a Charlotte Hornets and New Orleans Pelicans game on March 23rd of 2023, with books citing a surge of bets, including 30 wagers in 46 minutes from just one professional bettor, which totaled around $14,000, and that came in all on unders for Terry Rozier's points, rebounds, and assists. Rozier, who at the time was playing with the Charlotte Hornets, logged only 10 minutes in that game before leaving with what we now know was an obvious fake foot injury. Porter, meanwhile, has already admitted in court to manipulating his performances in at least 2 games during the 2023-2024 season and is awaiting sentencing currently. And while these are still just allegations at this point surrounding Rozier and Billups, it is pretty clear that Rozier was also involved in impacting outcomes of games, and it feels as if we might still just be at the tip of the iceberg. And while Billups still hasn't been implicated in affecting outcomes of basketball games or even betting directly on NBA games himself, his involvement with organized crime syndicates signal at the very least a possibility that he was pressured by bad actors to use his influence to do precisely that. The fact that we have the literal mafia in bed with NBA coaches and players for what has clearly been years, rigging NBA games and prop bets with the endgame result of scamming fans for millions of dollars in illegal cheating on basketball games and underground poker games is surreal, to say the least. This feels like an actual movie, to which I am very certain there will be several made in the years that follow. But while it feels like a movie to some, it obviously is a nightmare come true for disgraced NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, the vapid moron helming the league offices en route to a devastating Titanic-like voyage, which has tanked viewership and likely irreparably destroyed the NBA product as a whole forever. Now, though, we have this: multiple players now cruising precipitously towards lifetime bans from the sport for their involvement in fixing games, and God knows what exactly a head coach and former Hall of Fame player's involvement actually was. Sure, the NBA product is at nearly an all-time low point in popularity, as you have to go all the way back to the dark ages of the 1970s to find a time period where people cared so little about this sport. But at least the integrity of the game wasn't being challenged to the point that it is now. There have been implications of rigging or fixing games for years, and a bombshell case such as this one only lends credibility to those assertions. It lends credibility to suggesting that perhaps the league itself can even be involved in altering the outcomes of these games. Again, I just did a piece on it a few days ago. Look no further than the NBA's golden goose LeBron James and his team, the marquee LA Lakers, and their absurd free throw discrepancy over the last 3 seasons. In looking at just the 2 full-year span from 2023 through 2024, the Lakers shot 1,000 more free throws. That would be 1,104 to be precise, 1,104 more than their opponents. And that number was substantially higher than the team with the second biggest differential over that same time, which was the New York Knicks, higher to the tune of over 700 more. There has to be sweeping investigations by the NBA itself that rises above even what the level of the FBI has done to this point to appease fans' legitimate concerns about the integrity of the sport itself. Though, who am I kidding? The sanctimonious gargoyle figurehead of the league will talk tough and keep on running DraftKings and FanDuel promos during the actual games. You really can't have it both ways at this point. Wolves cannot be guarding the henhouse. This clearly has the potential to be the darkest moment in NBA history, as the remaining details continue to emerge in what promises to be a sprawling and ongoing federal investigation. Ultimately, who knows how many more players and league personnel were involved or how long this has all been going on. But to stay up to date as continual details do emerge on this case, please do make sure you are subscribed to my channel here with notifications turned on. And to learn a little bit more about the massive free throw differential the Lakers have been enjoying the last 3 seasons, you can check this video out right here. Until next time, guys.